Hey everyone, welcome again to the channel. And today we're diving into one of the most powerful tools for working with data, and that is Microsoft Excel. Whether you are a student, a professional, or just someone looking to level up your spreadsheets game, this tutorial will give you the skills you need to manipulate data like a pro. In this video, we will cover everything from basic data manipulation to advanced formulas, pivot tables, and more. So stay tuned, let's get started. Okay, so today we are going to provide the following. Number one, we have sum of income. Number two, income average. Number two, in letter A, we have rich if money is greater than or equal to 3,000. Letter B, average if 1,000 is less than or equal to money and less than 3,000. Letter C, poor if money is less than 1,000. So number 3, we have minimum age. Number 4, we have maximum age. Number 5, count male. Number 6, we have count female. Number 7, if 3,000 is greater than or equal to income, the color will be green. Number 8, graph the following. We have X is the age and Y is the income. And lastly, we need to provide the pivot table. Okay, so how we are going to provide the sum of income. So but before that, we are going to input the data here in order to have details of our data analysis. Okay, so in my example, we have numbers 1 to 10, and we have names here, gender, age, and income. So we are going to provide the gender of each names. Okay, let's put a data here. Just for example, first name we have male, second name we have male, third name we have female, fourth name we have male, fifth name we have female, sixth name we have female, seventh name we have male, eighth name we have female, nine we have male, and lastly we have female. Okay, so we're going to provide the age of each names. So let's put an example here. So this is 18, 21, 25, 28, 30, 26. We have 28, we have 24, we have 21, we have 20. Okay, so we need also to provide income of each names. So let's put an example here. Okay, so let's put a data on the income. So this is just an example. Okay, so first we have to input 3,000. Second, we need to put 100. Okay, so 900, 3,800, 9,000, 3,000, 100, 9,000, 1,000, and 100. Okay, so to provide the following, first we need to provide the number 1, which is the sum of income. Okay, so how did we get this 30,000 in data analysis of sum income? So in order to get the sum of the income, which is in my case, we have 30,000, we need to put a formula. So the formula is sum of all the incomes. You just need to sum all the income, and then that is the result, 30,000. Okay, so the next data that we need to provide is the income average. So in order to get the income average, we just need to put a formula again. So the formula is average of all the income. So So like for example, you need to put equal and then type average, open close, and then select the income column. And then after you input that, the average of all income, which is the 3,000. Okay? Okay, so next we are going to provide the income average. So in income average, we have these three categories: the rich, the average, and the poor. So how are we going to get that? So in order to have that data, we just need to put a formula. So the formula is equal and then type ifs. Type the ifs and then put the logical test number one, which is this, and then the true value is this rich. So if this column is greater than or equal to 3,000, then rich will appear. So in this part, if that tab is less than or is less than 3,000, then the value is average. And then again, that tab is greater than or equal to 1,000, then the prompt will be poor. So let's test the formula. So like for example, if we manipulate the data here, because this data is coming from here, so like for example, we change this number into 9,000. Again, oh, as you can see, the richness or the graph change also, and then still this is rich because the rich, so because the rich, if money is greater than or equal to 3,000, still rich, so that has not changed, so still rich. So if we're going to change this into 10, and then the result will be average. And so with the poor, if we lower the value into 1,000, then that will be changed into poor. So the next part that we need to provide is the minimum age. So in order to get the minimum age, which is in my part, in my case, we have 18. You are going to input a formula which is equal and then type minimum or min and then select the age column. And after that, you get the 18 or the lowest age or the minimum age. Okay, same as through with the maximum age. As you can see, the formula here is we have equal and then max, open close, and then we have the range of age columns. So after you input a formula, then you have a 30, which is the maximum average. Okay, so the next thing that we need to provide is the count male. So in order to get the count male, we need to provide a formula which is this. So equal and then count if, and then the range that we need to count, and then specific data which is male. So in my case, we have 5. It's because in the gender column, we have 5 males here. So same as true with the count female, same formula, and then we just need to change the specific data, which is the female. And again, in my case, we have 5 female because we inputted 5 female here in our gender column. Okay, so the next data that we need to provide is this number 7. So in number 7, we have if 30,000 is greater than or equal to income, then it will be color green. So in my case, how did I get this color green in 3,000 and above income? So as you can see, the only greens here, the 3,000 and above incomes. Okay, so in order to get this condition, which is the if 3,000 is greater than or equal to income and then color green, we just need to use the conditional formatting. So how are we going to use the conditional formatting? So you're just going to highlight the column and then select conditional formatting, and then highlight cell rules and then more rules. So here you can select a cell value, then the condition which is greater than, and then select here what color you need to use. So in my case, I use green here. So you just need to select that green and then press OK. But in my case, I already got that settings. So all you have to do is to manage the rules. And then as you can see in my settings, we have cell value is greater than or equal to 3000, and then the color is green, and then applies to what column. So this is the column, this part here. Then that's okay. So whenever you put a data which is 3000 or above, it will color a green. Okay? So the next part that we need to provide is the graph of X and Y. X is the age and Y is the income. So how we are going to provide that? So the first thing we need to do is to highlight the age and the income, and then press the select, press the insert here, and then click this icon which is the graph. And then as you can see, there are different types of graphs here. So in my case, I use this line graph, and then that's the graph. As you can see, there is a data here, so you can select what type of data you need to highlight, and then edit the design, and then you have the chart elements here. So you can select axis titles, data labels, so error bar, we have data table, we have the legend, we have the thread line, up and down, and so much more. So you can also change the design. So this design is a nice one. Okay, so you can also edit the title. So like for example, we need to put a title here, richness. Okay, okay, so that's how we are going to graph a data. Okay, so the last part that we need to provide is the pivot table. Okay, so how are we going to get that pivot table? So first, we need to highlight the data, and then click the insert here, and then you can see the pivot table here. So click that pivot table, and then you can have the pivot table. So as you can see, there is a pivot table fields here. So you just need to enable the name, the gender, the age, and the income, and then you have the data here. And then that's it. You already have the pivot table of the data. Okay, so that's it for today. Thank you for listening. And again, remember that Excel is a very powerful tool that can manipulate a data. See you in my next video. Goodbye and God bless.